Look out into the world as if it were made of pinstrokes, ebbs and crescendos, flourishes designed by a well-studied hand. I sometimes wonder if man can be such a designer, if man can truly be the master of his own destiny, if men can set out with light back, picking up only the burdens he sees fit, conquering the islands his ancestors would only dream could exist in a vast ocean beyond their understanding. I wonder if I, born not so high and fortunate to be of noble birth, but not so low as to have no knowledge of such things at all, can take up to see how far the oceans go, and how distant I shall dare to see. I have spent my entire life in servitude to others who were born more fortunate. But is there not reason in making one's own destiny? Of course, Father might not see much wisdom in this, and Mother would call it outright treason. But I have resolved that a life with no control outside of circumstance is no life at all, and that life in dumb servitude is not worth living. Tomorrow I have an audience with His Majesty the King, and I shall speak my treasons to him. Father says I should not make idle time keeping journals, but I say he should have never sent me to the abbey to learn how to read. Perhaps we would both be somewhat better off. I would likely not know what I was missing, or at least how to articulate my feelings. And he would have a happy farmhand content in continuing the family business of selling surplus stock. One, however, cannot dwell in the hypothetical. I know what I know, and we are where we are. September 3rd, 1642. When morning came, I set out to town to confront my fate. I live on the edge of where the forest and the wheat fields meet. And since it was about the time of harvest, one could imagine the wheat was quite high. Before I could even get half a kilometer from my home, however, I heard a rustle from the wheat. It's windy this September, I stopped and thought. As I went to step on, a figure jumped out of the wheat and waylaid me. "What are you doing? Unhand me!" I exclaimed whilst wrestling off the supposed highwayman. "Come on then, turn out your pockets. Be a good lad, yeah?" the highwayman said. Try as I might, I could not get the upper hand. The dust obscured him and protected him from retaliation. "Enough! I am bested!" I wheezed with labored breath. The highwayman began to chuckle, which slowly grew into a loud and cheerful laugh. He turned me upward to let me see his face. Edward? It was Edward Pettivant, my best friend from down the lane. He extended his hand to help me up. When I had securely gotten my footing, I promptly struck him about the head. "Ah, I suppose I had that coming," he chuckled. "You should have seen your face. Oh, help me, I surrender," he said mockingly. I dusted myself off and started back on my path. Edward gave chase, although it could hardly be called a chase. "Hey, wait, you aren't mad, are you? I was just playing a joke," Edward started to explain. "I have an important day today. I don't have energy or thoughts to waste on games," I replied. "You're no fun anymore. I can think of at least 100 times you've jumped out of those same fields to scare me after your dad told us one of those scary stories he was so fond of." Edward places a finger on his chin and looks up as if he had just stumbled upon a revelation for the ages. Come to think of it, we don't have the healthiest friendship, do we?" he joked. "We can discuss that later. For now, I really must get going. I would really appreciate it if you allowed me to focus," I explained, taking care to be somewhat curt with him to discourage further prying. "I sure hope you aren't this much of a prude when you get shipped off to the New World." He says this casually at first, but his eyes begin to widen as he realizes the significance of what he had just said. "How do you know about the New World?" To be continued.